Right, Forest fans, Max Newton here, giving you a quick review of Nottingham Forest 2, Porto nil at the world famous City Ground. Our first win in Europe for 20 odd years. A brilliant night, a great atmosphere that built, I think, throughout the night. I think perhaps for a little bit it was a bit sort of cup gamey. Um, with new supporters in the ground who aren't there every week and so on, but the atmosphere built and was absolutely tremendous, especially after the first 10 minutes of the second half, after Porto had an equaliser ruled out. The atmosphere just ramped up and ramped up, and it was absolutely superb. And you know what, it was great to get back to what we do and what we do well. Fans getting behind the team, Forest playing good football, Forest being organised, a normal team selection that doesn't feel like desperation or picking players out of a hat and throwing them on the pitch. Players playing in natural positions, players knowing what their jobs are, and their jobs being what they do best, whether that be fullbacks, whether that be centre halves, not being asked to play right back, whether that be Morgan Gibbs-White, Dyche said, took the shackles off him, and I think that really told. I think probably his best game since Palace game, probably, or even maybe the first half of the Betis game. I thought Morgan Gibbs-White was excellent today. Played with freedom, played with imagination, and in areas of the pitch where we know we can do damage. In the formation, it was a proper footballing selection, performance, and night. And you know what? We didn't play dice ball. There was maybe like once or twice where it was a big lumped clearance up front, but it wasn't long ball. It wasn't playing for free kicks and corners. It wasn't S-housery. We actually had more possession than the opposition, despite everybody saying it's going to be returned to Nuno ball. And you know what? Everybody's saying that it was such a big change from Nuno to Ange, missing the point that first two games we had like between 55 and 65 possession. So how was it a big change, or was he just an awful, god awful manager? Um, yeah, you sometimes say that a new manager's got big shoes to fill, where in this case it was clown shoes. Sean Dyche ain't no clown, and brilliant to have Dyche, Stone, and Wone back at the City Ground, and I'm glad they enjoyed it. I'm really pleased for them. And you saw Sean Dyche soaking it all in at the start for Mull of Kintyre. Into the game, like I say, we looked organised. The sort of way we pressed is good. We didn't seek to press too far up the pitch. We didn't have too high a line. We were happy to let them have the ball and sit back a bit, but then press, organised press when we needed to. I thought we played well without being I thought we played really well without being scintillating. I thought we were a more dangerous team. We created opportunities. I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi showed why on earth was he not being picked to start games, of the person that's really carrying us furthest up the pitch and putting us in dangerous situations like so often. Had a good shot saved. It's a save you'd expect the keeper to make in the first half, and in the second half in front of us, it was constantly bringing the ball to the byline and getting us in the box and causing no end of difficulties to the Porto defence. First goal, penalty, referee awarded it, well played referee, VAR checked it, Bednarak, clear handball, and everybody sort of saying how difficult a game Porto are going to be, and they've only not won one of their first 11 games. But if that's a team with Bednarak in it, it gives you an idea of the quality of the Portuguese league, and perhaps how out of depth managers coming from Portugal might be looking at Manchester United there. Bit of nervousness around us in terms of who's going to take it, and Morgan Gibbs-White taking it because people are nervous about his run up, but he hasn't missed one for us, and he put it exactly where he wanted to put it in the semi-final, bottom left hand corner. Celebrate, great stuff. I think we looked comfortable for the rest of the half. Zinchenko went off, who I'm still concerned about Zinchenko. There's still a moment where their right winger turned like an oil tanker, but it was still enough to completely fool Zinchenko and leave him, stranded. And I thought Severino did really, really well when he came in. I thought he played excellently, really comfortable, very confident in him, good going forwards. Won the penalty. Um, yeah, second half, I think Porto came out with a bit of oomph, and they had quite a bit of pressure and quite a few corners, and then the goal came from a corner, so that's disappointing, but clearly offside. The player that recycled the ball, so very much enjoyed the European VAR text on the screens, verificado, and in the second half, a bit later, we had a verificado to penalty. Um, and that was after Forest really stepped it up after the disallowed goal. The fans stepped it up and got behind the team even more. The players stepped it up, and it looked like there's only going to be one team that got a second goal. And uh, again, great penalty, well taken. Um, yeah, job done. 3 points in the bag, up and running in Europe, up into I think 17th place. Against a team that is probably one of the most difficult teams, and the Dyche era has begun. Um, Come on, you Reds. Cheese and beetroot cobs were excellent. The maker of the cheese and beetroot cobs was in attendance last night to also soak up the glory. But where was Anthony, Chester, McCabe, and Connor? Yeah, come on, get behind the boys. Come on, you Reds.